All right, shalom, 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 yashar Allah, shalom. Really quick, getting into it, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wara, Chaha, Badash, Bashamayim. Yahweh being the Heavenly Father, who the word ignorant calls God, which name is Yahweh, meaning He is, He exists. Bahashem in the name, Yahweh Shai, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, which His name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, which means He saves, He delivers. All right. Hashem in the name and the Holy Spirit which are in heaven. All right. I'd like to also give double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone that rule well and teach well, and peace and salutations to the whole blood scattered abroad. For you sincere Akim or Aqua that'll tune in or tune in afterwards, I will represent that this lesson is edifying and exhorting unto you. All right. This lesson is coming to you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, hopes to edify and exhort the flock. All right. So really quickly, you see right there, it says in the news, prophecy watch World War 3. All right, bear with me. I'm about to share the screen. We're gonna dive right in. All right, so as you can see, it says red alert. Pentagon mobilizes thousands of aircraft for World War 3 confrontation with China and Russia. One of the top nuclear powers of the world right now, like the nuclear superpowers right now. All right. So without further ado, we're going to dive right in and just get right to the point. All right. So according to the sources, see below, the Pentagon is now taking thousands of mothballed military aircraft. All right. Now look, mothballed, how we use it in the military, right? We're ex-military, or I'm ex-military, right? Mothballed just meaning in storage, right? Nothing too heavily, right? But you know, if you really want to get into it, it says store clothes with mothballs, but it goes into just being stored in a motor pool, which is like a big parking lot. If you don't know what a motor pool is, I don't know how to explain it in civilian terms, but it's just like a big parking lot, a big military parking lot full of vehicles. All right, but in this instance, they're talking about aircraft. All right, so it's like a tarmac. All right, a tarmac is just literally where the actual aircrafts are actually laid, organized. All right, so they can take off for departure, whatever it may be. All right, that's besides the point. All right, so mothball military aircraft and restoring them to full service capability. All right, reason why I'm bringing this further is because this is very big. All right, now when I was in the military, we would decommission certain vehicles and we would send them to reset. All right, meaning they would take whatever parts that's not serviceable on the vehicle and make it fully capable to actually be used in combat, and and we wouldn't be able to touch them until they got sent overseas, wherever it may be. But in this instance, they're actually having them fully capable, fully serviceable for the world, for World War 3, man. All right. It says full service capability in obvious run to World War 3 with both China and Russia. All right. And reason why the United States is actually now starting to bolster up their strength now, right? Starting to sharpen their sword now too, right? Over here in America, Babylon the Great, is because the fears have been increasing. All right. One, China has been increasing their nuclear capability, all right, beyond belief, and their ground forces. And Russia has been doing the same thing, nuclear capability, their ground forces. And North Korea is right behind them, all right, increasing their ground strength, nuclear capability. Iran, right? Ground strength, nuclear capability, and all these other countries that are following suit with Brits, man, right? All these other nations that are following suit with Brits. Look, America is now they're putting some fire up their ass. Right? They're like, oh shit, all right, look, they keep building up strength. And I remember bringing forth this article if I'm not mistaken, like a few weeks ago, probably a few months ago, all right, where it says that that if the United States shows fear that these other nations are increasing their military strength, it wouldn't look good on them. It wouldn't look good upon them. But now look, now they're starting to see like, okay, look, all these other nations, and it's really just those top four, Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran, right, that are literally fully fledged against Babylon the Great, aka America, here in the West, right there. They're fully against this place. Around this America, Babylon the Great, aka America, is starting to see like, okay, look, the tensions is rising. There's a lot of evil eyes over here. The military strength over there is getting exceedingly great. All right, we still got minimal numbers over here for military strength, as in personnel. Right, they're not meeting their quotas. The strength of the military is weak as hell, and a lot of their vehicles, as I said, were decommissioned. Man, all right, they're put in the damn parking lot, mothball. All right, but now they're starting to take them out and sending them to reset, getting them refurbished so they can be fully restored to full service capability, man. All right. So this is how you know, okay, now tension is rising. Now there's a little bit of push, going on here in America. All right. Babylon the Great, aka America. Now, what's coming around the corner, not to get off topic, is that draft too, man. All right. Right around the corner is that fucking draft, because now since they're bringing out these aircraft, and I'm gonna tell you the types, right? It says the aircraft reported, including F-16s, which are the fighter jets, right, and the C-130s, man, transport planes, and AWACS aircrafts, all right? AWACS, if you don't know what that is, I don't know how to explain that. So look, I'm just gonna show you right here what it is on this side. An AWACS aircraft is basically a central intelligence aircraft, all right, where they can, be over the battlefield with heavy communications, all right? Look, it says the Boeing E-3 Sentry is an American airborne early warning and control aircraft developed by Boeing, all right, are commonly known as AWACS, right? Airborne warning and control systems, right? I haven't been in any of these, but I know, here's the damn definition: a long-range airborne radar system for detecting enemy aircraft and missiles, for directing attacks on them. All right, so in other words, they're only having these, being brought forth is because look, now they're seeing the tensions rise up with these other nations. The nuclear strength is actually increasing to the point where they're going to have this aircraft in the air 24/7 to be able to even detect something being launched from the ground from another nation. All right. And that radar system that's actually on the AWACS aircraft is unfathomable. All right, one, it's already in the air, thousands and thousands of feet off the ground, right? And it's tethered to a satellite that gives it that actually projects its range longer, so it can actually get the whole entire globe by being in the air, but it has to be at a certain altitude. All right, if I'm not mistaken, I think like 35. It has to at least be 35 to 45,000 feet in the air to be able to actually get a widespread understanding of who's sending missiles where, or what's the trajectory, what's the direction out, whatever it may be, right? That's besides the point. But what you need to understand, this is something to take heed to now, right? Now America, Babylon the Great, is getting afraid. Babylon the Great, aka America, is starting to get some fire up their ass, and they're starting to bring forth these military things, man. These military crafts, right? Meant for war, though. All right, especially when it comes down to the F-16s, man. Look, those are warplanes, man. All right, that are housed with cruise missiles and incendiary missiles. All right, you know what that is? Hey, just go look it up. All right, but those are missiles that are actually, very long range, and they're meant for war, man. They're meant for war. Literally, if I'm not mistaken, the other one, the incendiary missiles, those are actually heat-seeking missiles. All right, so they can actually fucking take out, enemy targets that are producing a heat signature. Right? That's still beside the point. But look, this is how you know. Look, the tensions are rising even a lot more now, because now Babylon the Great, aka America, is bringing forth these aircraft and bringing them to a serviceable state. All right, serviceable for what? World War III. All right. Let's see. Let's keep going. All right, so this person right here, right, says, I called John Moore yesterday and asked the additional confirmation. He reiterated that his military ties sources were observed so far hundreds of aircraft at the Davis Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson, Arizona, being taken out of storage and restored to full service capabilities, man. All right, full service capabilities. And I can't lie, that air base in Tucson, Arizona is a very big, Air Force base, all right? That's basically in ties with all that fucking the Air Force shit. When it comes down to drones, like the unmanned aerial drones, the F-16, it's definitely the C-130s. If I'm not mistaken, AC-130s as well, the gunships. Look, all these things are over there. So if they're activating those and pulling them out of storage, this should be a red flag. Like, okay, maybe I should take heed. Like, what's going on? Why is this happening? You know what I mean? Something big is about to happen, and it's literally in ties with World War III. All right, America is afraid, and look, now they're starting to pull out shit that was retired, basically in storage, hasn't been used. And now they're going to bring it forth to use it for World War III because now they're afraid because they don't have the ground strength anymore. They don't have the manpower anymore, but they have, the Esau Edom, the so-called white man over here. He has his sword, right? His carnal sword, which is these aircraft, right? Which honestly, he dominates the skies besides Russia because they have the MiGs, right? Those MiG-17s, those MiG-19s. Those are the ones. Those are the only jets in the world that are able to surpass the F-16s here in Babylon the Great, aka America. All right. So look, even then, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he's bringing forth these things, but he also is doing it because he's afraid. All right. Over here, Babylon the Great, aka America. Look, they don't have that strength anymore. All right. And all these other nations are starting to realize that. That's why they're pulling out all this shit out of storage. All right. It says this process has been underway for a few weeks. So they've been doing this for a few weeks, and it appears to involve hundreds of military personnel. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's military personnel that came that had to leave out of Texas, TDY, to go over there to help out for that shit. I would not be surprised because they did the same thing when it came down to the border, the border down in Mexico. They had to take some of the people down from Fort Hood, where I was stationed at, right? And they send us TDY down over there to the border so we can guard the border. All right. So look, these things are happening, man. These things are happening. They're happening rapidly. All right. Without anybody blinking a fucking eye. Right. You should be very aware of this because this goes to show you, okay, now something is up now. All right. Something is up, and the tensions of World War III is at large. And I'm talking about beyond belief. All right. It is going to pop off very soon. And so is that fucking draft here at Babylon the Great, aka America. All right. Let's keep reading. Let's get a little bit more. It says, this means the world soon be engulfed in global war. And that war is likely to go nuclear. Russia, it turns out, has the most advanced nuclear ICBMs, right? The nuclear equipped hypersonic missiles in the world. And once NATO, unambiguously enters the war, every American city will become a legitimate nuclear target in the eyes of Russia. Hell yeah, man. And rightfully so, man, because this is a wicked ass fucking kingdom, man. And it needs to be utterly destroyed, man. All right. So this just goes to show you, look, the tensions is up there, man. The tensions is up there. It's rising. And look, now you got Babylon the Great, aka America, trying to bring out shit that was retired or in storage in general and try to bring it up to a serviceable status so they can use it for World War III, because they don't have the need, the means, the money, nor the time to create or build new fucking, new jets or anything like that in that matter, right? New weapons of war, so to speak, right? So this just goes to show you, man, look, the tensions is up there, all right? They are rising, all right? Let's see what else. Nothing. Activating class. I mean, yeah, I don't want to beat a dead horse with this. So look, we're just going to dive right into the scriptures, all right? So without further ado, let's get it. We're going to get the book of 2 Timothy, all right? I can get there. All right, there we go. All right, so the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1, it says, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. All right, perilous times. Times that are what? Treacherous, horrid, right? Times that are hard to bear. Perilous times, all right? Times that a lot of people are not going to be able to endure, man, because of how grievous the times are, all right? And let's go into why. Why are the times going to be so treacherous and hard to bear? Right? Because it is. Listen to this. The book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 6 through 8. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right? The end is not yet because there's other biblical prophecies that soon need to come to pass before the thermonuclear destruction of Babylon the Great, aka America, is initiated, man. All right. Like what? For instance, for an example, all right, the subdermal implantable micro C-hip, all right, which is that RFID C-hip, all right, that Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is going to force upon the world to take, man. All right. And if you do not take it, you're either going to be executed right there on the spot or whatever may happen, tortured, beaten, whatever it may be. All right. Whatever happens at that moment, it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, because that's how he wanted it to happen. All right. And we already know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, with us hopeful elect, we already know through the spirit that some of us are going to be beheaded for this thing. All right. But at the end of the day, we just pray that Yahweh Shem Shai, if it be our lot to be beheaded for this thing, if we say no, or if we constantly endure to the end, and we just pray that our spirits are hardened to the end, that we stand firmly and boldly for the names Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai until that thing chops our head off, man. Whatever it may be. It could be to the point where Yahweh Bahashem Shai just pulls your spirit out the body, you don't feel shit. Or you could be raised up with that spiritual power. It is what it is. It's 50-50, all right? We don't know. We just pray and hope that we can be those very elect men. But we are the hopeful elect, all right? But keep it reading, right? It says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, right? And we're seeing that right now, man. Look, Russia and China are literally, they are like this, man. And honestly, there's another one, if I'm not mistaken, there's another nation that was rejoicing with Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran. I think it was Saudi Arabia, that they were all like cheering and praising that America is literally about to collapse, man. Babylon the Great, aka America, is soon to collapse, and they were rejoicing over it in public. All right, so this just goes to show you they already know what's up, man. They already know what's up, and they know that through the spirit and power of the Most High Yahweh Shem Shai, obviously that they don't know themselves, right? But they know that this place is going to be utterly destroyed because they don't have the nuclear capability. They don't have the power here in America. All right, Babylon the Great, aka America, does not have anything to protect from those ICBM nuclear missiles. You just saw an article that they have the most technologically advanced, all right, technically advanced or technologically advanced nuclear ICBM intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. All right, Russia has that. China definitely does. All right, North Korea does, and North Korea gave the blueprint to Iran, so they're making them their own selves. Like, look, I'm telling you, look, it's coming down to where all these other nations are starting to realize, okay, look, America ain't shit. We can make our own missiles. We have the blueprint from these other nations. All right, we're gonna move over into BRICS because look, BRICS is superior to us. They could whoop our ass. So they're gonna submit unto the higher powers, right? The hierarchy of the powers, which is those top 4 nuclear powers of the world right now, man. All right, so you need to understand. Look, we are at the latter end. All right, we're at the brinks of collapse of Babylon the Great, aka America. We're about to soon see it made manifest. All right, because it is at hand right now. All right. Reading on, it says, and there shall be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginnings of sorrows. All right, the beginnings of sorrows with what? Hearing wars and rumors of wars. All right, kingdoms rising up against kingdoms and nations rising up against nations. Famines, right? Shortages of food, the scarcity of food, being able to nourish yourself, right? Being able to eat, drink, right? Having sustenance in general, all right? Pestilences, right? The epidemics, these newly formed and newly created, pestilences that Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is all conjuring up on the left-hand side, all right? And that big main one that's the top right now is disease X. All right, disease X, the one that's unknown to any medical science right now. All right, look, it behooves you to take heed and understand the times we in. All right, take heed to the signs of the times that we in. All right, we're not in that time of peace. We're in that time of great tribulation, and it's just the beginning stages of it. All right, and diverse earthquakes in diverse places. All right, these so-called natural disasters that are happening everywhere around Babylon the Great. All right. Things are happening here as well, but it's not as great because this place is going to receive it beyond belief in these latter days, man. All right, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is truly saving this place for last, right? The best for last, all right? Because this place is going to get it the worst the worst than these other nations. All right, let's just keep it simply like that. All right, Babylon the Great, aka America, is going to get it a lot worse than all these other places around the world. Okay. So let's keep it moving. All right. This verse 21, it says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, to this modern day and age." All right. When nor ever shall be. That's the type of time we're coming into, man. A time like never before and never shall be. All right. A time of what? Great tribulation. All right. Because now, like I said, even though it doesn't say it in there, look, this is just Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, realizing that okay, they ain't got the military strength. They're gonna have to pull out some heavy artillery and in a great multitude of spacecrafts, all right, or not spacecraft, aircraft in general, all right. They're gonna have to pull out those old ones that are in the damn storage that they have been pulling out for weeks, right, hundreds of them, and they're bringing them to fully serviceable capabilities so they can use them for World War III, all right, because they already know that these other nations got it. And I'm talking about what I mean by they got it is they military strength. They got it. All these other nations, they got it. They got the nuclear capability. They got the ground forces. They got the tactics, all right, and they got the fucking the skill to do it. All right. So look, at the end of the day, you need to understand World War III is truly inevitable, and it is at large. All right, it is at large, and the tensions of World War III is soon to pop off. Okay? It is truly at large. It's here. It's at the front door. All right, it's just World War III is waiting to kick the front door and be like, all right, look, you drafted because we need you. You drafted because we need you. And all you motherfuckers that don't believe that World War III is inevitable and that there wasn't going to be a draft and all the shit that y'all was talking, saying that that's not going to happen to me, that's not going to happen to me. All right, what's going to happen when it does happen to you? We've been warning your ass. All right, nigga, you're going to be taken over there to the Valley of Jehoshaphat. And you're going to be fucking judged out there, man. All right, executed in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shabbat, Yahweh's judgment. All right, let's get that. Let's get the book of Joel, right? Since I quoted it, right? The book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9 through 12, because now Babylon the Great, aka America, is sharpening their sword. Now they want to sharpen their sword after all these other nations have been sharpening their sword right in front of their fucking faces, right? Now they want to sharpen their sword too, because they have no choice. They have no choice, and all these other nations have evil eyes for this place, and they want to destroy this place. They want something to happen, all right? They want one of those NATO countries to fucking step in to whatever it may be, with whatever conflict happens overseas. They want NATO to just to speak on anything, saying that, oh, we are against you. We're gonna stand up for these people if you go against them. Which really they're talking about Taiwan and whatever other nation that is a part of NATO. All right. So look, they're truly trying to antagonize and poke the bear right now because they know that they got it. All right. All these other nations, they have it. All right, and they know they got it. All right. So let's get it. It's the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9 through 12. All right. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong." And all these other nations are starting to realize and wake up to the fact like, yo, Babylon the Great, aka America, is weak. But we the strong ones. We got ICBM nuclear capability that is far surpassing Babylon the Great's, aka America's technological advancements. All right, we got it. We got the military strength. We got these super soldiers, these warriors. All right, look, these other nations is up there with that power, man. And I'm talking about military strength, military power. They got it. Military tactics, training, weaponry. All right, they got it. They got it. And all these other nations is really starting to realize that Babylon the Great, aka America, is truly vulnerable because of the bullshit that they're doing. Look what Babylon the Great, aka America, is bringing forth: a bunch of folly, a bunch of wickedness, a bunch of sodomites. All right, they got a bunch of sodomites in their military. All right, they got a damn pride fucking protest going on. But meanwhile, you got all these other nations ready to fucking invade this bitch, and they're starting to do that right now. We're in the beginning stages of the invasion, man. All right, we're in the beginning stages of Babylon the Great, aka America, being invaded by the Chinese, the North Koreans, all right, and whatever other nations, man, whatever other nations that are here that are partakers of that shit, man. All right, look, it's happening. It's happening right before the eyes of the people. Yeah, niggas in the military is talking about, what they trying to do this weekend, or what nigga they trying to fuck. All right, everybody that's in the military here in Babylon the Great, aka America, is worried about the wrong things. All right, and they're going to utterly be destroyed in these latter days. All right, let's keep reading. It says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen." Slakia. "Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong." All right, so literally, when it's talking about those pruning hooks and the spears, look, they're They're sharpening and they're perfecting their craft. All these other nations have done that already, though. All right, and they're constantly progressing, exceedingly getting their, exceedingly perfecting their craft, man, constantly, daily, 24/7. That's all they're doing because they are truly in that spirit of war. All right, here now in Babylon the Great, aka America, they have no choice but to get in that same spirit. Like, okay, fuck. It seems like everybody else wants to fight, so we're gonna have to, get ready. We're gonna have to get off our asses now. You know, now that's the type of spirit Babylon the Great, aka America, has been brought forth into. All right, they have been forced into that. Now they got to take all these retired and stored up weapons and vehicles, right? These aircraft, and restore them so they can be functional for World War III. Look how desperate these niggas are, man. They not ready, man. Babylon the Great, aka America, is not ready for these other nations. All right, Babylon the Great, aka America, is not ready for World War III. All right, let's keep it moving. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, right? The valley of Yahweh's Shaphat, Yahweh's judgment. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. All right, look, for all of y'all that don't believe that World War III is inevitable and that a great draft is going to happen, you're not going to be taken over there. Look, you have been highly misinformed, man. You have been highly misinformed, all right? And you're going to learn the hard way because we've been teaching you. We've been showing you, all right? We've been telling you. We've been prophesying this for a minute now, starting with our elders and apostles, a great millstone, all the way down to us at the lowest level, man. Look, this is inevitable, man. It is soon to come to pass. And when that draft does happen, you cannot say that you weren't warned, man, all right? Because we've been warning you, all right? We've been warning you. So let's keep it moving, man. Let's get what is soon to come to Babylon the Great, aka America, man. All right. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verses 11 through 14. It says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields, the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, that rised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, right? The so-called Russians today. For his devices his devices are against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, the vengeance of his temple, man. The vengeance of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai is literally the sword on the left-hand side, which is these other nations, all these other nations that bendeth the bow, starting with the Medes, man, the Russians, because they are the top nuclear power right now. All right, they have the most technologically advanced ICBM nuclear missiles, man. All right, they have the top nuclear missiles right now that are ICBM hypersonic nuclear missiles, man. They have it more greater than all these other nations. All right, because they have been just giving it down and passing down the information to these other nations that are a part of BRICS. Like, okay, this is how you make this, blah, blah, blah. We're going to give you this so you can make that. And then you can do it in your factory, blah, 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 so on and so forth, right? But look, Yahweh Bashim Yahshai is truly doing that for a reason. Why? Let's read it one more time. This is verse 11 in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51. It says, make bright the arrows, right? The arrows, which are what? Those ICBM nuclear missiles. Gather the shields. The Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, the Russians. His devices, right? His actual, ICBM nuclear missiles is against Babylon to destroy it, to destroy this place, Babylon the Great, aka America, to ultimately obliterate this bitch, man, because it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh, the vengeance of his temple. All right. It says, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambush, for the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai hath devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come. Thine end is come, and the measure of thy court, and the measure of thy countenances. All right. So literally, Babylon the Great, aka America, has a lot of treasure. It has raped, robbed, and pillaged many other nations and left them, for dead, in other words, right? A nation got something that Babylon the Great, aka America, needs. They go over there, they say, oh, we're gonna help you, we'll give you this, this, and that, blah, blah, blah. The trade will be a partners and trying to excavate it and try to withdraw it, whatever, how much you need, blah, blah, blah. But they really ultimately take a lot of it and leave them with the bare minimum, having that country go to shit. All right. So they got treasures from multiple nations. And if you really look at it, since we're the treasures of the Most High, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Indians, right? Us Hebrew Israelites, right? He has us here too, man. He has us here captive. All right. We are the jewels of the Most High. We are his most prized possessions. All right. His treasure. All right. And we're stuck here in Babylon the Great, aka America, man. All right. It says, the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as the caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. All right, so I want to grab this in another version real quick in the Good News translation. All right, it's very plain and simple in the Good News translation. All right, so the same book, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 11 through 14. In the Good News translation. All right, it says, the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua has stirred up the kings of the Medes, right, the Russians, because he intends to destroy Babylonia, right here, Babylon the Great, aka America. That is how he can, that is how he will take revenge for the destruction of his temple. The attacking officers command, sharpen the arrows, get your shields ready. Give the signal to attack Babylon's walls. Strengthen the guard, post the sentries. Place troops in ambush. The Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua has done what he said he will do to the people of Babylon. That country has many rivers of riches, or rich treasures, but its time is up, and its threads of life is cut. The Lord Yahweh Almighty has sworn by his own life that he will bring many men to attack Babylon like a swarm of locusts. He will shout with victory. So look, man, Babylon the Great, aka America's days is numbered, all right? And it is truly at large that it is very close to the end, all right? And it's truly being made manifest that Babylon the Great, aka America's days are at its very, very end, all right? Grab this last one. You know what? I'll grab two slots. All right. So I'm gonna grab this real quick. All right, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 14 and 29. It says, "Put yourselves in array against Babylon, round about Babylon the Great, aka America." All right. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord Yahweh. All right. Babylon the Great, aka America, has sinned against the Lord Yahweh, bringing forth what? A bunch of false philosophies. All right. False gods. You know, a bunch of wickedness in general. All right. This is the sinful kingdom that Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua has his eyes upon. All right. Babylon the Great, aka America, and 2/3 of our nation that just can't get right, that are truly suffering here, that believe that they're from here, man. All right. So look, Babylon the Great, aka America, is going to be destroyed by what? All these other nations that bend the bow, which is what? That have ICBM nuclear capability. All right. It says what? Spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord. All these nukes is going to be let off, man. They're going to be let off, and they're not. They're not going to fucking spare nothing, man. They're not going to spare none of these arrows, man. None of these nukes, none of these ICBM nuclear missiles. All right, verse 29. It says, "Altogether the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to all she hath done, do unto her." Do unto who? Babylon the Great, aka America, the great whore. For she hath been proud against the Lord Yahweh and against the Holy One of Israel. All right, so look, it's not Babylon the Great, aka America, spawn pride, bring forth pride. All right, that side of my group, the LGBTQ, whatever the fuck it may be, the alphabet people, you know what I'm talking about. It brings forth pride, but the scriptures tell you what? Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty look, or a haughty spirit before a fall. Roughly paraphrasing it. This goes to show you, man, look, the pride of this world, or the pride of this so-called great country, right? But even though it is a great nation, or a great country in general, right? It's going to be utterly destroyed by Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai via all these other nations that bendeth the bow, which is what that have ICBM nuclear capability, that are gonna fucking utterly destroy this place and not spare one nuke, man. All right. So I'm gonna grab that one in the book of Amos. Since I quoted it earlier, might as well grab it, right? Let's grab that book of Amos, and then we'll end it off with that Abaratazah. Bear with me. All right. So this is the book of Amos, all right, chapter 9, all right, and verse 8. It says, "Behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, God, are upon the sinful kingdom," right? Babylon the Great, aka America, is the sinful kingdom, and then also 2/3 of our nation that are not right, that can't get right either. "And I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. Saving that, I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, save the Lord Yahweh." All right, so literally meaning what? 1/3, 144,000, and the 1/3 remnant, all right, are going to be preserved, man. They're going to be saved. They're going to be delivered. He's not going to destroy the entire, Yashar Allah. It's just going to be the 2/3 of our nation, which is the central kingdom as well, because literally we have been given the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai. Therefore, what? We are the only ones that can truly sin, if you want to be technical. All right. So technically, we are the only ones that can truly sin. All right. But the fact that we have turned from our transgression, right, and trying to walk in the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, because we're not perfect, right? Us hopeful elect. All right. We hope to be saved. All right. But 2/3 of our nation, they don't want to do that. They're not willing to go that scrimp, that crab, lobster, that pork. They're not willing to do none of that shit. All right. But at the end of the day, it truly behooves them to do that. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. And look, they're going to perish for it anyway. All right. Something simple as not eating abominable things. All right. Something as simple as that. They rather just throw their life away and eat it anyway. Not turn to Yahweh Shai and shun his word. Right. When us servants, the prophets, are out there on the highways and hedges bringing forth this word of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, right? His glorious word, his wise counsel, bringing it forth, right, to our people and to the world in general, obviously, because it has to be brought forth to the four winds of the earth, right? Everybody has to hear this word, every preacher, all right? So this just goes to show you, look, man, look, everybody that comes across this word, especially for you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Indians, all right, and y'all don't take heed, y'all going to be utterly destroyed. Y'all going to be wiped from off the face of the earth. Thus saith the Lord, man. This is not my word. We'll read the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 8, man. All right. And honestly, if you really want to get heavy into it, we'll read the book of 2nd Chronicle, all right, chapter 15, verse 13, straight to the point. It tells you that whoever don't seek the Lord Yahweh Shai, right, any Hebrew Israelite, so-called black, Latino, Native Indian, right, that does not seek Yahweh Shai, the God of Israel, shall be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman, man. All right. That means if you're old, young, male, female, it don't matter. And you don't seek Yahweh Shai, and you're a so-called black, Latino, Native Indian, you're going to be put to death, man. All right. Look, that's all the scriptures that I had to bring forth. All right. I'll wrap this up at this lesson with edifying and exhorting unto our people, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Indians, man. All right. To turn to Yahweh Shai in truth, sincerity, and in fear and trembling, man. All right. Because the days are at hand of the latter end. All right. We're in the beginning stages of it, and it's going to only get exceedingly worse in the near future. All right. So with that being said, we're going to shut this thing down, giving the much due all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Bahashem Wachachah Kodasha Bashemayim. All right, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone that rule well and teach well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. For you sincere Akim or Aqua that shall tune into this afterwards, I brought out this other. This lesson is edifying and exhorting unto you. All right, closing out with DTA, Abad, Babal, soon. All right, DTA, Death to America, Abad, Babal, soon. All right, destroy confusion. All right, because Babylon the Great, aka America, is a destroyed and confused ass place, and it's going to be utterly destroyed in these latter days. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, so without further ado, we're going to shut this thing down. All right, DTA, Abad, Babal, soon, Kwam Yashar Allah, Shalom.